Hello there. This is going to be a little bit of a different video for y'all, for you who usually come and see potentially cross stitch. That's usually what my channel is about. But today we've got a little bit different. We've got story time with Tim. So just to give you a little bit of backstory before I show you the video, because this is not going to be very long. Home Free is a cappella vocal band. So all the sounds that they make generally come out of their mouths. They've got a gal touring with them, and she plays a guitar and a violin. But usually when it's just the five of them, it's only their voices that are making the sound. So any background music that you might hear, what would normally be instruments, is actually coming from them. So that's kind of backstory of what the band is. And they're awesome, by the way. If you haven't watched them, go find a video. They're fantastic. So we just went and saw them in concert last night. We also saw them in concert about 3 years ago. So before everything got shut down because of Corona. Yeah. So before everything got shut down for all of that, we went and saw them. And he did a story time in that one as well. And he's going to explain that a little bit in the clip that I'm going to show you. So, yeah, he wasn't planning to do that story time, and apparently told it several other times. And now he has part two, basically, to go along with that. As he put in the video, he's not planning to tell this in any other venue, any other concert. So I don't know if that will be the case or not. But it was very hard to film this and not laugh. So all you could hear was me, as well as holding the camera really still because I did not have it on any kind of stand, and trying to film it in between people's heads as well. So pardon the mess of the video if it's not that great. Just listen to the story. I know my video comes down to the top of Tim's head and maybe a little bit, into his head a little bit. But again, I'm trying to watch everything and not laugh. And it's great. So I hope you enjoy this video. Now, I do want to put a disclaimer in here. If you have little ones watching, you might want to watch it first to decide if it's okay for them to watch. They are going to talk about certain body parts, and they are referring to animals, but of course, as Tim puts it, let's not all be children now, we're adults. So yeah, you might want to watch through it and just make sure that you're comfortable letting them see this and hear it and everything. So that little bit of disclaimer there before you get into it. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this and you get a little chuckle out of it. And yeah, so without further delay, we will get on to the video now.
How many of y'all saw us the last time we were in Portland? And y'all may recall that I had told a story that I was not intending on telling that night. Does anybody remember what I'm talking about?
I remember.
Brace yourself if you don't know what I'm talking about, because that story was about barnacle penis. Penises. Peni. Barnacle peni. Now, I know that sounds completely random, and it felt very random to my poor bandmates when I started telling that story.
I wish you could have seen Rob's face the first time.
Because I went on for a little while on the subject, and off mic behind me, I hear Rob go, "What the hell is going on right now?" Now, I had a good reason for telling that story, and don't worry, I'm not going to tell it again. It's on YouTube, I'm sure, if you really want to hear about barnacle peni. But the reason I told that story is that I have a good friend named Catherine Roy, who is an incredible children's author and illustrator, and she's sort of focused on all things aquatic recently. And so she came to our show last time, and right before we went on stage, she drops this little nugget of wisdom on me. She says, "Did you know that a barnacle's penis can be up to 90% of its body?" And so I like factoids, so I was like, that is fascinating. Thank you for sharing that with me. And I thought that would be the end of that. But then our truck driver wandered over, and he said, "I bet you $10 you can't get barnacle penis into your show tonight." He owes me about $90 at this point. Because not only did I talk for some time about barnacle peni in this show, again, wasn't planning on talking about it in this show, but I certainly wasn't planning on talking about it after this show. But then we got to the next venue, and there was a sign language interpreter at the show. Some of you see where this is going. I was not about to squander that opportunity. So I told that story. And I made her sign those words over and over and over again. Now let's not be juvenile for it. This is all completely science-based. There's no word for barnacle, it turns out, in sign language. So she, of course, then just had to keep spelling barnacle one letter at a time every time I said it. There is a sign for that second word, however. Would you like to know what it is? It goes like this. One more time for this side of the room. Is there anyone here who does sign language? Am I correct? Thank you. Please give it up for these ladies. So, just in case anyone came tonight hoping to be educated again, like you were last year, well, I guess that was 3 years ago now, huh? Can we just pretend like the last 2 years didn't happen? So last year, I didn't want to disappoint you, but again, I didn't want to tell that story again. I didn't want to tell any story, to be honest with you. But Catherine couldn't make it to the show tonight, but she knew it was happening. So moments before the show, she sent me this. Again, we're going to be using scientific terms, so let's not be children. This is all about anglerfish. Some of you already know about anglerfish? Like enough to start squirming already? Oh, Portland. I love you, Oscar. All right. From birth, a male anglerfish is basically worthless. He's small, weak, and can barely find food. Unlike most fish, the male will never grow out of this phase. He'll be hungry his entire life. He is born, however, with a great sense of smell. which will be the driving force behind his existence. The smell is actually the pheromone of the female, which he will search for his entire life. Behold the female anglerfish. Huge, vicious, and capable, she can lure in other fish using a glowing spine on the top of her head, then distend her jaws and stomach to devour prey twice her size. You ladies are getting too excited about where this is going. The male, upon seeing her, will realize his calling in life. And he'll start biting her. While biting, his lips will start to melt. Then his internal organs will also start melting and fuse into the side of the female's body. Why are you shaking your head right now? Do you really know this already? Poorly, man. Eventually, his entire body will fuse into hers. The only thing that will remain is a pair of gonads, which the female will use to impregnate herself. Basically, he becomes a pair of shiny new testicles for the female. Now, testicles are like snowflakes.
That's the sweetest thing I've heard in my life.
Eat your heart out, Hallmark. They're unique, beautiful, and every animal is only allowed one pair. The female angler, however, defies this notion and confused with multiple males. Meaning, she can have as many testicles as she likes.
I did not see that coming.
Now listen, I am committed to never telling that story again. So unlike Barnacle Penis, please don't come to future shows and yell anglerfish at me from the audience.